Hello Capricorn, welcome to Mind, Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of June for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. This is a general reading. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not meant for you. Though in my experience, if you do find your way to videos randomly on YouTube, there's probably some message there for you. Do check out also what are your other signs like strong in your chart. For example, if Capricorn is your sun, do check out what's your moon and what's your rising sign videos to get a bigger picture. Okay, Knight of Cups. So I pre-shuffled your cards. I will just allow whatever pops out to pop out. All right, what else do we have? Capricorn for the month of June. All right. Okay, Three of Swords with the King of Cups. Ooh la la. Do we read all this? Let's read all this. Okay, you're getting a bigger reading than most people. Fine. You know, I feel like reading these three together. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep them together. I feel they're strongly connected, and I'm gonna pull one more card. Okay, what's the other one? The Fool. Ooh la la. We are definitely end and a beginning, and bottom of the deck we have the Two of Pentacles as your underlying theme. Okay, Capricorn, we're talking big here. Let's pull out clarifiers for these. So we have the Three of Cups for the King of Cups. We have the Three of Swords is the Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. What do we have for the Queen of Pentacles, the Hangman and the World theme? Knight of Swords. All right. What do we have for the Fool? What are the messages that go along with the Fool? To form a big picture. Okay, you really are eager. There we go. King of Pentacles with the Ace of Cups to clarify the Fool. And bottom of the deck we have the Two of Swords, and I see this one wanting to pop out, which was the Hierophant. This 5 was just showing up. So yeah, I'll just pull it out with it. Since we have we're so generous with the cards today, why not? All right, hope we see it all. Okay, so you have two twos here as your underlying theme, as your underlying energy. So what's your theme really is undecisiveness and holding back. So what is it that you need to decide? These two cards showed up for Sagittarius as well. So those of you that maybe have Sagittarius in your chart as well, it's just a double message. It's a stressing out that you need to take a decision here. This Two of Pentacles, you see, this is somebody who's been juggling for a while now. And he's so focused on on juggling the physical resources that he has. He has the knowledge too. He's done it gracefully, but it doesn't feel like he has a lot of balance here. He doesn't feel like he can do this forever. This takes a lot of stamina. This takes a lot of energy. A juggler doesn't juggle all day. And you see, being so focused on juggling like this, he's got all these emotions in the back that he needs to handle. He needs to feel. But he's focusing on the physical right now, so he's putting this in the background. But these emotions can take the better of him if he doesn't pay attention. See the seeds quite not very calm in there, And having ships signifies support. So there's support there, but do we let it in? Because, again, this guy turns his back to his emotions and to the support available. And these boats here, we don't even know if they're going to make it. This boat here is on top of this wave. We're not really sure it's going to capsize or if it's going to keep going. And this one we can barely see it. So if there are people around you that are trying to support you and maybe are sometimes also the target of your suppressed emotions, the victims of it, be careful. Look at that. And this is just reinforcing somehow like not wanting to accessing your emotions. See, like this lady here, she's blindfolded. She doesn't really know what's happening. Well, it's night anyway. The moon is there, and she's almost like a protector here. She's like thou shall not pass sort of attitude. Being a sort of a threshold guardian between your physical world that you've been juggling here and your emotions. And she's also kind of like crossing her heart here, which makes sense, of course. Having the Hierophant here and the moon, it's like, okay, you know what? Your emotions right now, you're not seeing them. You're completely cut off from your emotions from what I see. You're focusing on dealing with a situation as fast and as much as you can. And you've been in such a hurry that you didn't have a chance to really feel how does this feel? You need a lot of processing time. And with the Hierophant is that follow teachings in this direction of how to deal with this situation. What are your teachers right now? Who are you looking up to? Who are you able to take advice from? Because we can't really take advice from everyone. We can just take advice from people that we trust and from people that we look up to. So if you have, for example, teachers that you can, I, for example, always turn to Alan Watts when I feel a little bit confused, or to Jack Cornfield, or to Tara Brach. I mean, this is where I find my true messages to feel aligned again, to remember what's the point when I feel blindfolded like this and confused, or when I've been juggling too many things at the same time, and my emotions end up in the background in this agitated state. So turn to the teachers that mean something to you and can give you advice with this, can help you reconnect to yourself and reconnect to your emotions, because we can't stay here forever. This is a stagnation card. This is very dynamic, yeah, but emotionally speaking, and your mind is actually blocking your access to your emotions. And we need our access to our emotions, because emotions are the ones telling us when They're information. Emotions are always information. We need to learn from them. Of course, we cannot give them too much power, but the reason why they end up sometimes having too much power is because they're held in the back. And your mind here probably is just trying to protect your mind. Prioritizes, okay, let's just act fast. We need to face this situation. Maybe you've been dealing with some financial struggles, so you had to like pull out every card in the deck to in your sleeve to make something happen. Maybe you've been juggling a few jobs and other responsibilities, and you literally didn't have time to feel, and you knew that if you sit down now and allow yourself to feel, or at least that's what your mind thinks, you will get overwhelmed given the how agitated this sea is here. But still, I feel like here the sea is calm, you know. I think that the mind makes it feel like this. But this is more of like looking at, okay, the mind doesn't see the whole picture. She's blindfolded. Allow yourself to come back to your core values by reaching out to the people you trust, people that you know they know how to take you out of here. It can be friends, but it can also be family members, or as I said, renowned teachers. All right. So there we go. We have the King of Cups. This is going to be a long reading. My God. So we have the King of Cups with the Three of Cups. And yeah, this King of Cups is somebody who's really, really tuned into his emotions. He sometimes can even look emotionless, but that's just because he is not a victim to his emotions. He is not acting on his emotions unless it's helpful, unless it's empowering, you know. He knows how to allow his emotions to pass through him. He knows how to take his information out of his emotion and to use his emotion as a compass. So this could be you regaining your access to your emotion, or this could be a figure in your life right now that it's part of your support group. One of these people here who's like trying to offer you support, but they're kind of swept off by your own emotions. Maybe, you know, like when we feel threatened sometimes, or when we feel like, okay, I really can't deal with this right now, we tend to be rather aggressive to those that are trying to give a little bit of awareness to our own emotions. And maybe this is such a person. With the Three of Cups here, I feel like you have support. You really do. Sometimes we really feel alone, and many times we are right, like people just really don't get us and stuff like this. But that's mainly because we kind of isolate ourselves. If we're disconnected from our emotions, and if we're like turning our backs to our helpers, we're the one making the first step in isolating. You know, some people can try to call you, to hang out with you, to talk to you, but if we repeatedly reject their messages, they may not necessarily come through next time. But in this case, I feel like you do have your support, and as I said, this King of Cups might very well be you finally taking that place to look inside and using the support that there is around you, your network group or your support group, your friends, your family, and coming back to that place of joy. You know, you've handled this crazy situation that required your undivided focus and attention, and this was important. So you have the infinity here. Well done there. You know, juggling with all that is not easy, but it is time to really give attention to your emotions and challenge the mind that believes you're not able to handle them. You are able to handle them. You have the King of Cups here. He is the person you want to be having to handle these crazy emotions here. And see, the sea here is just as crazy, but he's the king of this. He will never feel threatened by this. He's got the maturity, he's got the wisdom, the knowledge. He owns his emotions. He's not owned by his emotions. He's not acting on behalf of them. He's acting after he allowed them through, felt them through, and he's taking his own understanding from this. And sometimes when we're feeling confused like this, it's always good to make use of our support friends. We can talk with them, and we can don't feel shame about opening up to your what is it that you feel confused about. Sometimes we feel like, oh come on, I'm so silly, how can I even look at that? Why do I feel like this doesn't make any sense? Well, sometimes when we open up to other friends, it's not even the advice that they give. It's more like hearing myself telling the story again and telling myself telling the story again to the other one and see what's reflected back at me. If it's a really good friend, they won't just try to agree with you at every point. They will literally give you how would they react in that based on their own, I don't know, family history and psyche. So make use of that. Make use of your support group to process this. This is what your mind is trying to protect you from. Past hurts. But the three, it's a three. The three are cards of growth. The three are cards of two coming together and making something bigger. Three is a beautiful number. And three is also the number of the mind. One is the physical, two is the emotional, three is the mind, four is the spiritual. These are also the four suits, right? And three, it's a card of the mind, and it's swords. It's also of the mind. Two of swords is a card of emotion and mind. That's why we have the water here, and that's why we have the swords as the mind. So you see, the three of mind is not that much about this heart. It's more about how we perceive in our mind this heart. This card looks a lot like a broken heart, like something but it doesn't necessarily need to be pain. It's more about understanding and aligning the mind with the heart. So it's a reinforcement that you gotta go into your emotions and don't. If the mind is terrified here of accessing this, well, here the mind is actually accessing this. It's accessing the emotion. It's accessing it's not just the emotion. The heart is not where the emotions are. The heart is really what we feel with the heart desires, as you call. It's aligning yourself with your soul here. Reminding the mind that it needs to be let go of the blindfold and see deeper. Search into your heart to see what is it that your mind needs to know. And this will change everything. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of change. Of course, it's also good fortune. This is Jupiter. It's expansion, it's growth. It's 10. The 10 is a card of an end of a cycle. So in the major arcana, we have all the way to what these two are here, the 21, and then the Fool is 0, which is the next cycle. But 10 marks an ending of a cycle within the bigger cycle, right? And the Wheel of Fortune also reminds us that things are not the same. Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same forever. There is no forever. If you even look at our universe, we know that the universe at some point will collapse within itself, expansion, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go now into astrophysics, but the point is that it is known that the universe at some point, as we know it, will not be any longer. We, as really, really, we have a very short existence. We can't act as if things are going to be the way they are forever, and we can't attach ourselves too much to one way of being or another, and definitely not to a way of being that is repressed and painful, So yeah, Capricorn, keep that in mind. Nothing lasts forever. And you're also like your pentacles, right? You are a sign, so you may have this tendency to attach a little bit too much to physical, whether it's money, whether it's status, whether it's what you value tends to be pretty practical. Well, it is in your nature, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the only thing there is. Impermanence is the only constant in this world. That's it. Everything is impermanent. Whatever is physical that you really holding on to or trying to juggle, well, that too shall pass. So that can be terrifying for an earth sign like you, but it's actually, when you're here, when you're in like this heartbreak and where you're just focusing on fear, then this is actually very comforting to know that things are impermanent. And yes, this is also, it shows that the hard period, I think, had passed, because it is the wheel of fortune. Your fortune is probably going to rise up a little bit. Now let's see what's with this package here. So we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Hangman and the World. The Queen of Pentacles, well, we have also the King of Pentacles here, crossing each other. But this is at the heart of your reading. So the Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's really, really grounded. She's like a healer. She's an earth healer. She's nurturing mother, rich person, and she knows what's important. She knows how to value what's most important, which is herself. She knows how to value not necessarily, I mean, she is practical, that's not the problem, but I think what she holds here is her value system, her self-worth. And she can do this because she knows that things are impermanent. She knows that she knows how to be abundant because she knows what is important. And she's done that through a lot of self-reflection, a lot of change of perspective, a lot of time off. She sat on that throne for a good while to understand what's happening here, to understand what really is important. You need a little bit of a reflection time, maybe, Capricorn. And there you go, it's the World. The World is the card of graduating and understanding, on letting something go because you've learned that lesson. It's making the best out of an experience, no matter what that experience is. If you perceive it as positive or negative, it's really learning from it. And yeah, I think you're learning from the more nurturing side of you. This is also Earth, right? Like King of Pentacles, this your more masculine energy, but it's time to tune into your feminine right now. and slow down. This hanged man, he's like, um, he's getting enlightenment by sitting here upside down, by waiting this one out. He has a halo on his head. That means that by changing this perspective and by sitting there for a while, like holding, waiting, um, he learns a lot, and this enables you to move on. And this Knight of Swords here, to clarify this group, I think it has to do with communication, and I think it has to do with also this is mind energy, right? Like somehow I feel like your mind is pushing you in one direction, and you see the world. The lady, she looks back as well. Maybe it is time to communicate actually to those in your past about this, about what you learned from all this. Knight of Swords is a little bit of a harsh communicator though, so careful there. You want to be more nurturing and more gentle. These people were the ones that helped you, really. Even if sometimes doesn't look like, because sometimes we've given a little bit of tough love or whatever. They deserve the truth, of course, but they deserve also gentleness and respect. And here you are, after this graduation, after like making amends and all this, you're starting over again in this full energy. And there's the Ace of Cups. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. It's another beginning. You have 3 cards that show on your beginning here. And the King of Pentacles, which can very well be your energy. It's full abundance here. He's the builder, he's the provider, he's the a little bit smug sometimes, being so rich, but he is practical. And with this Ace of Cups here, I think it's also full of love. He gets to this point of being so abundant because he is able now to feel that love inside, that love within, and he's full of it. He can share it. He's abundant. See, this cup is abundance of self-love, really, of love. You have this, and there's this I wanted to say pigeon. This white dove here, bringing in the purity of the heart. And his cup is full, and it overflows back into the sea. Abundance of love, abundance of... You're learning from this. You're learning from this so much. And it enables you to have trust again. The Fool is a card of trust. The Fool is a card of fully trusting your connection with your higher self. Who you're trusting here, it's the world, really. You're trusting more into the world, and you're trusting more into whatever it is that you believe in. Whether it's you believe in a higher self that's guiding you, your soul's guidance, you believe in yourself, you believe in the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in, you come back to that because you're remembering, you're finally slowing down after all this juggling and after all this suppression, and you're remembering because you're also going back to the core teachings that are most important to you right now, to summon back this Knight of Cups within you. That's a beautiful reading, Capricorn. Yeah. tune in into your emotions. Don't hold your back to them. And do honor the people in your life that are trying to help you. And take your time. Take your time to process. Take your time to connect to your body. Take your time to connect to nature. Take your time to connect with the healer within you, and allow your body to naturally to do its thing. We have amazing self-healing abilities, and we can do this by taking some time out and by changing our perspective. We're learning so much. Make amends, communicate to the people that you need to communicate to, and allow yourself to start anew with trust, with love, and abundance. Come back into this abundance mindset that comes when we know that we are safe, and when we know that we are loved, and we know that we can love back. We are love. We really are, deep down inside. And if we really tune in into the heart, and we really align with our hearts, we really understand that that heart had always been full of love. We just need to give ourselves access to it, to nourish ourselves from this. And there's how you come back into your full power as the King of Pentacles, Capricorn. Understanding what's valuable. No, physical, it's, everything passes. This too shall pass. What is important is this: your heart and love. When I say love, I don't necessarily mean romantic love. I'm talking more about the higher principle of unconditional love, of self-love that can overflow and start pouring out into the world. Bring more love into the world, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this helps. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you here next time. Have an amazing June. Bye-bye.